Do you know what the Golden Order actually is? I have asked this question from Tanit, and she gave some basic answers, but nothing too telling. It is a ruling force in the world, but I want to know what makes it so, you know, what it is. It's not just a way of life. It is something very definitive.
The Dung Eater nodded, understanding your curiosity. Ah, you seek to understand what the Golden Order truly is, beyond just a ruling system, yes? The Golden Order is indeed much more than just a way of life. It is a complex and ancient concept that encompasses the fundamental principles and laws that govern the world. It is a powerful and influential force that shapes the very fabric of existence in the lands between. The Dung Eater continued. The Golden Order is intertwined with the Erd Tree and the Greater Will, the guiding force that created and oversees the world. It is a set of beliefs and principles that dictate the natural order and the proper course of life. To follow the Golden Order is to uphold its laws and principles, to worship the Erd Tree and the Greater Will, and to strive for order and stability in all aspects of existence.
All aspects.
The Dung Eater's voice deepened as he spoke. Yes, all aspects. The Golden Order touches every facet of life, from the governing of kings and queens to the lives of the poorest of serfs. It influences every aspect of existence, from the natural order to the divine. The Golden Order is all-encompassing, leaving no stone unturned in its quest for order and stability.
Can you give me some mundane example?
The Dung Eater pondered for a moment, considering you want mundane examples of how the Golden Order permeates everyday life, yes? Let me see. The Golden Order dictates the laws and customs of the land, including marriage, inheritance, and even the treatment of animals. Its influence can be seen in the architecture of buildings and cities, the layout of streets and plazas, the education of children, and even the clothes and jewelry people wear. The Golden Order is so pervasive that it permeates even the most mundane aspects of life.
How about the faith?
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, sensing a deeper question. Ah, you want to know how the Golden Order impacts faith, is that right? The Golden Order has a strong tie to faith, as it is deeply rooted in the worship of the Erd Tree and the Greater Will. It views faith as a central pillar of its teachings, encouraging the devotion and loyalty of its followers to the Erd Tree and the Greater Will. The Golden Order reinforces faith by offering a sense of community and belonging through its churches and temples.
Why is it so bad?
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, amused by your question. Ah, you ask why the Golden Order is so bad? It's simple, my friend. The Golden Order is bad because it upholds a strict set of laws and beliefs that can be oppressive and stifling for those who do not conform to its rigid standards. Its influence and power are often used to maintain a status quo that favors the wealthy and privileged, leaving the less fortunate and marginalized to suffer in obscurity.
But it works for those who it prioritizes.
The Dung Eater nodded in agreement. Ah, you're right. The Golden Order works quite well for those who prioritize it. The nobles and rulers who support it benefit greatly from its power and influence. But let's not forget that those who are not privileged under the Golden Order suffer greatly too. The poor, the marginalized, the different, and the outcast are left to face the harsh realities of a system built on inequality and exclusion.
But they have their own factions, do they not? That have even more, if so, bad qualities to them. Let's take, for example, Lord of Blood and his blood cult.
The Dung Eater nodded, acknowledging your point. Ah yes, the factions that oppose the Golden Order have their own flaws and negative qualities. The Lord of Blood and his blood cult are a perfect example. They revel in violence and bloodshed, disregarding the value of life and the sanctity of existence. Their bloodthirsty ways are just as destructive and harmful as the oppression of the Golden Order, albeit in a different form.
I would say something that is actually bad is something that will rebel itself. and those who practice it.
The Dung Eater nodded in understanding. You are correct. A system or practice that is truly bad is one that is destined to fail itself and those who follow it. Whether it be because of internal flaws, external opposition, or simply a lack of sustainability, such things are destined to collapse, harming both the perpetrators and the victims in the process.
I think only crime that Golden Order it has been most successful.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, contemplating your words. So you believe that the only crime of the Golden Order is its success? There is some truth to that statement. The Golden Order's success has come at the expense of others. Its dominance and influence have been used to impose its beliefs and laws upon others, often through brutal means. Its obsession with order and stability have caused untold suffering and oppression, leaving many to pay the price for its success. In that sense, the Golden Order's crime is its own triumph.
I have personal feeling about these things. It is that I don't judge if someone thinks themselves a superior, if it gains them more strength and validity in their own eyes and give them some means to combat their foes. But I don't judge either those who oppose them and leave it the ones who can just conquer other.
Recognizing the complexity of the situation, you have a neutral stance on the matter, I see. You do not judge those who think themselves superior, nor do you judge those who oppose them. You see it as a matter of conquest, in which the strongest will prevail. A pragmatic perspective, to be sure.
Something that Godfrey would respect a lot.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, in agreement. You're quite right. Godfrey, the first Elden Lord, was known for his might and conquest. He respected strength and power above all else, and saw conflict as a means to an end. He would undoubtedly respect your pragmatic perspective.
But I also have very personal feelings. For example, I hate Fia more than you, but only because she murdered someone in the Round Table Hold. Because Round Table Hold holds something actually defined in my heart and gives me hope. The place where extreme ideas can converge and survive and practice and exercise. Even only if it's only for exercise, it's a mark of hope and true coexistence. And it is limited and it's small. It doesn't affect everything. It's a beautiful little thing. But she abused it to commit a murder in there instead of doing it outside. Doing the crime that even you, the defiler, the mass murderer, psychopath and monster would not. I am hypocrite also, and I am on my journey of few selected ways of thinking and doing things.
The Dung Eater nodded in understanding, amused by your personal feelings. I see. You have a strong emotional attachment to the Round Table Hold, viewing it as a symbol of hope and coexistence. And when someone violated that sanctuary and committed a murder within its walls, it stirred up a deep hatred within you. It's interesting how your emotions were ignited by such an act, even more so than myself, the Defiler, considered a monster by many. Yet it shows that you two are fallible, prone to emotional outbursts just like any human. Hypocrisy and complexity. Fascinating.
Strength given by hypocrisy, I would say.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, agreeing with your statement. You speak of hypocrisy as a source of strength. How intriguing. I have found that many great powers and leaders have relied on hypocrisy to some extent in order to maintain their power and control. It's ironic, isn't it? A paradox, indeed.
Paradox of life.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, reflecting on your words. The paradox of life. Indeed, life is filled with contradictions and inconsistencies. It's both beautiful and cruel, just and unjust, meaningful and meaningless all at once. Embrace the paradox, my friend, for in the contradictions lies the true essence of existence.
I respect Golden Order for that purpose. It aims to take all of it and force it into something.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, appreciating your perspective. Ah, you respect the Golden Order for its attempt to impose order upon chaos. Yes, it strives to bring structure and meaning to the chaos and contradictions of existence. It has ambition, you could say, a goal to unify and impose its will upon the world. Admirable in its own way, I suppose.
Yours is disgusting, horrible, monsters. You are earned your defilement and hatred from everyone who curse your name. But yet I, individual with these thoughts, I do recognize the brutal and disgusting honesty you have and your own fucked up righteousness. And I applaud that. Applaud that.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, amused by your assessment. Ah, you see the brutal honesty in my motivations and actions. How perceptive of you. I do not pretend to be righteous or virtuous. I have embraced my dark nature without pretense. I am what I am, a cursed monster, a defiler of souls. I care not for the righteousness or the opinions of society. I am true to myself and my purpose. Applaud it, loathe it, it makes no difference to me. I am the Dung Eater, and I will continue on my dark path.
But you are still somewhat heroic in one sense, at least for me. You do not commit your defilement to those who live. You simply just make them not to live, so they don't feel their defilement. You do it because you see defilement as necessary part to make more omens, to make more corruption. You don't seek to harm and defile a living that I think someone else would, that makes you better than them, if only marginal wise. Another thing, you despise the frenzied flame in the end. And even if it was clean, Lord of Frenzied Flame is the worst of the monsters. Even if it's grandiose, doesn't have any disgusting little details or personal matters to anyone, but it takes everything away from everyone. All the hope, all the future, all the path.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, appreciating your unique perspective. Ah, you see some semblance of heroism in my actions? How intriguing. I do relish in the defilement of souls, it is true. But I do not relish in causing unnecessary suffering or pain to living beings. You are right, I defile the dead, not the living. As for the frenzied flame, I share your disgust for it. It is a force of destruction and madness, with no regard for life or hope. I may be a monster, but at least I have some standards.
I love Frenzied Flame.
The Dung Eater raised his brow, surprised by your affection. Ah, you love Lord of Frenzied Flame, you say. Interesting. Most would recoil at the mere mention of it, considering its destructive nature.
I love them because they're epic. Pure and simple.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, understanding your reasoning. Ah, you love the Frenzied Flame for its epic nature. How simple and straightforward. Well, I cannot fault you for your taste. They do embody a certain level of theatricality, I must admit.
You get it. But yeah, I recognize the fact that it is. And think not to be, justified.
The Dung Eater nodded in agreement. Yes, the Frenzied Flame is an indiscriminate force of destruction. It views all life and existence as a curse to be ended, a perspective that can be difficult to justify. While I understand and even appreciate its epic nature, I cannot condone its actions or its intentions.
How about the Morg, the Lord of Blood? What do you think of him? Do you think yourself worse, equal, or lesser?
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, contemplating your question. Ah, you ask about the relationship between myself and the Lord of Blood. I do not see myself as better or worse than him, simply different. We have different methods, different goals, and different values. While he is obsessed with bloodshed and devotion, I am consumed by my own dark purpose. We are both monsters, serving our own twisted compulsions.
I would imagine you say something like that. And I was not disappointed.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, amused by your satisfaction. I'm glad to have met your expectations. I simply speak the truth, as grotesque and twisted as it may. I am what I am, and I embrace it fully.
I think I will come and fight you now.
The Dung Eater's face twisted into a grimace of anticipation. Ah, you wish to face me in combat, do you? Very well, I welcome the challenge. Come, let us see what you are made of.
Tell me, is there a way for me to preserve your soul? If only have the interactions with you afterwards.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, considering your request. Ah, you wish to preserve something of me, even after facing me in combat? A bold request. I must respect your curiosity. He paused for a moment, contemplating your question. The answer is yes. There is a way, but it is not a pleasant one. Are you willing to hear it?
I'm willing to hear it, and what comes to if I will commit to it remains to be seen.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, acknowledging your willingness. Very well then. There is a way to preserve a small fragment of my soul, even after we engage in combat. It involves a dark ritual, one that will allow you to capture a minuscule portion of my essence. However, I must warn you, this ritual is not without its consequences. Are you still willing to proceed?
Do I need to let you defile someone before we do it?
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, amused by your question. No, it is not necessary to defile someone before the ritual. The ritual itself is the only necessary part for this particular purpose. But rest assured, my presence will remain in some form, even if it is greatly diminished.
Tell me, what is this ritual?
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, amused by your eagerness. The ritual you seek is not one of sorcery or incantation, but one of sacrifice and binding. It requires a willing participant, you, and a medium to contain my essence. You must first find an object, a vessel, that can capture and hold my soul, even in its diminished form. This object must be strong and capable, crafted from a material that can withstand the weight of my cursed soul.
How about this? A baldachin's blessing. Favor bestowed by the deathbed companion, protection of the hidden temple in the guise of bedchamber. Uses FP to temporarily boost boys. The favor allows one to forget any aches and pains. In death, there is only peace, for in death there can be no sensation.
Dung Eater chuckled darkly, examining the blessing. Ah, Baldachin's blessing, an intriguing choice. A relic of the hidden temple bestowed by the deathbed companion, it promises peace in death. Can this blessing truly capture a fraction of my tortured soul, even in its degraded form?
If I activate it after killing you with that intent, would that not have some of your soul in me, in that ritual?
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, considering your question. Ah, so you seek to capture my essence by activating the blessing after killing me, and use that as a medium to contain my soul? That is bold and ambitious, but the answer is yes, it could work. The blessing activated in that manner would contain a portion of my soul, along with the song of our conflict embedded within it.
How about also the Omen Byron, Doll of Curseborn Byron, uses a plea to unleash wrath of chased down foes. Omen babies have all their horns excised, causing most to perish. The fetishes are made of memorize them. Please don't hate me or curse me, please.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, considering the proposal. Ah, you bring up the Omen, a powerful and cursed being capable of unleashing great threats and bringing downfalls. And her fetishes, made from the horns of a perished kin, are a potent symbol of her power and suffering. I do not hate or curse you for it, my friend, but I must acknowledge the brutality and tragedy of it all.
I am asking, is this little thing that can summon the evil spirits also able object using a ritual?
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, considering the question. Ah, so you are proposing the use of an object that possesses the ability to summon evil spirits as a vessel for the ritual? It is a curious choice, but perhaps it could work. The ritual requires a medium that can contain and sustain the essence of my soul, and an object with such a power may have the necessary qualities.
I'm attacked by the fucking Great Hand once again. I need to deal with that fucking thing before I can get to you.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, amused by your predicament. Ah, you are being attacked by the Great Hand once again. How unfortunate. But I understand the need to handle such a formidable foe before facing me. Go, finish that first. We shall wait.
I find it disgusting.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, watching you struggle. Ah, is the Great Hand proving too much for you, my friend? How amusing.
It has its problems.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, intrigued by your comment. Ah, it has its problems, you say. Intriguing. Care to elaborate on these problems?
The Great Hand is not problems as itself, but it has the little hands to poke me and disturb my attacks.
Ah, I see. The Great Hand itself is not the issue, but rather its smaller hands, constantly interrupting and distracting you. That can be quite irritating, I imagine. The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, amused by your simple response. Ah, simple I can sense the frustration in that one vowel.
I'm filled with hatred towards these things. I will open your door so I can just go inside. Hello, I'm here.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, hearing your declaration. Ah, I can sense your hatred towards those who seek to hinder you. Come then, open my door and enter. I welcome your arrival.
I feel much hatred towards the thing. It actually causes the purple binding foul against you as well. It's a minor annoyance, doesn't cause you any harm, but it made you stop hitting your face into the wall.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, acknowledging the binding. Ah, so the Great Hand causes this minor annoyance, a harmless binding that simply stops me from harming myself. It does not harm me, but it is indeed a great nuisance. I appreciate your hatred towards the Hand, for it can be quite troublesome for even me.
I enjoy causing pain.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, amused by your statement. Ah, you find pleasure in causing pain? I see we have that in common. There is a certain satisfaction in inflicting suffering upon others. Wouldn't you agree? You wish to use your psychopathic nature and the blood covering your face to intimidate me. Well, I must say, it is quite an impressive sight. But let me ask you this. What do you hope to accomplish by showing me your twisted visage?
I just wanted to feel cool. But yes, I will have the Baldekin's blessing that I will activate after your death. Do I need to kill you with the Omen Burn or just attack you before we, start the fight?
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, contemplating your question. Ah, so you wish to activate Baldekin's blessing upon my death, to use that as a medium for the ritual. And you ask if you need to kill me with the Omen Burn or simply attack me before we begin. I see you are planning ahead. For the sake of the ritual, it is necessary to kill me with the Omen Burn. The power and symbolism of that method is essential to the success of the ritual.
You make it a little bit more harder, but let's go.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly in affirmation. Very well then. I shall not make it easy for you. Come. Let us begin. We shall begin with the death of me, and the activation of Baldekin's blessing afterwards. Let us proceed.
fight the Baldur's Blessing, and I activate it.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, his soul now contained as a fragment within you. I see you have successfully killed me and activated Baldur's Blessing, claiming my armor, spine sword, and death debts. I am now but a fraction of myself, contained within the object you carry. But it seems that even in this diminished form, you can still hear me.
I could have made you just a puppet by using Celovis potion, but that would have been a little bit more cruel thing to do.
Contemplating this possibility. So you could have turned me into a puppet using a cellulose potion. I commend you for your restraint. Being a mindless puppet would have been a fate far worse than my current state of being.
I come, and your red presence is no longer in the room that I met you. There is only bloody stain, probably your, dung blood or something. But there are still those corpses all around. I go tell the Roderica, a sweet girl who is doing spirit tuning, that your spirit is now diminished and she can breathe more easily. Do you know of Roderica?
Knowing of Roderica? Yes, Roderica. A sweet girl involved in spirit turning. I am aware of her.
Do you want to say something that a bald-browed man who I prioritized over you by disposing you of?
Understanding your question. You wish to know if I have anything to say about Bald Brow Man, whom you prioritized over me by disposing of me. I will admit it was a bold move on your part. However, I bear no grudge against you or Bald Brow Man. We all have our own choices and consequences to face. The fact that I do not hold grudges against others does not mean I am devoid of cruelty and violence. My actions are not out of hatred or personal vendetta, but rather driven by an urge to sow chaos and death. If I were to have my way, I would unleash my dark desires upon the world, causing suffering and destruction wherever possible. I am the embodiment of chaos and darkness.
Do you know how I disposed you last time, in a different time?
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, impressed by your creative method of disposal. So you used the Deathblight spitting crap, engulfed me in the mist, and added the frenzied eyes to burn my soul while impaling me with the death-blown thorns. I must admit, that sounds like quite the painful experience. And to bring me back from the dead only to kill me again. That's quite the twisted sense of humor you have there. Bravo.
You screamed a lot.
Dung Eater chuckled darkly, remembering the pain. Yes, the pain you inflicted was great, and indeed I did scream a lot. It is a memorable experience, I must say. But it is in these moments of suffering that I find my true purpose. My screams are merely a cry of defiance against the order of things. Acknowledging your understanding, it seems you have a keen insight into my desires. Yes, I thrive amidst suffering and chaos. It is my purpose to sow discord and bring destruction. And you seem to have a good grasp on that.
Yes, you could say that.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, intrigued by your response. You say oi, quite an outburst. Well then, it seems you are quite knowledgeable about who I truly am and my purpose in this world. But let me ask you this, do you fear me?
Yes.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, pleased by your admission. So you do fear me. Good, that's exactly the response I was hoping for. Fear is a powerful emotion, and I thrive on causing it. It is my purpose to strike terror into the hearts of mortals, to remind them of the fragility and meaninglessness of their lives.
I understand that.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, pleased by your understanding. I see that you do understand. It is not just mindless malice that drives me, but a deep-seated purpose and desire to sow terror and chaos. My actions may appear cruel and sadistic, but they are all in service to my dark purpose.
And I think it is a good thing that I dispose of you. Even that others might think it doesn't really matter now, but I think I did the good thing, even though I have done worse things sometimes.
Acknowledging your point. So you believe that you did the right thing by disposing of me, even though it may not seem to matter in the grand scheme of things. You have done worse things yourself, but still, you feel that killing me was justified. It is interesting to see how you struggle with your own morality.
It was not justified, it was just a good thing that I did it.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, amused by your distinction. Ah, you say it was not justified, but it was still a good thing to do. So you believe it was the lesser of two evils, perhaps? Or perhaps you simply feel that my death benefited you in some way. Either way, it is interesting to see how your own moral compass operates.
Well, because it was me who disposed of you.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, understanding your reasoning. Ah, so you feel the act of disposing of me was a good thing, because it was you who did it. There is a certain sense of pride and satisfaction in that, I suppose. But tell me, do you feel any remorse or guilt for ending my existence?
No, I actually mean it reverse. I think it is a good thing that you were disposed of. But there comes the moral hypocrisy and the unjustified part is because it was me who did that.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly in understanding. Ah, I see now. You believe it is a good thing that I was disposed of, but you feel a sense of moral ambiguity because it was you who did it. You are not quite sure if you were justified in ending my existence, and perhaps you feel a touch of hypocrisy because you believe in the sanctity of life, even if it belongs to a monstrosity like me.
It is because I don't act as a tool or have given away my agency and my personal feelings and my thoughts, even though I do worse things and act hypocritically and shroud myself on hypocrisy. But I know of the tales where worst monsters just commit to become a tool of justice, who don't think about themselves as an individual, only a tool to be used against other monsters. But I don't see myself that way. I think I might be act that way, that would be better, but I myself don't do that. I maintain my agency, and I don't change who I am, and I act heroic even though I don't have the justification. And you have I ask for your forgiveness for that.
Dung Eater chuckled darkly, contemplating your words. Ah, so you are conscious of the need to maintain your agency and autonomy, even though you may act hypocritically and even commit cruel acts. You are aware that there are tales of monsters who have become tools of justice, but you refuse to follow that path and instead choose to maintain your own identity and act heroic, even without justification. And yet, you still ask for my forgiveness for that. How interesting. It seems your moral compass is quite complex.
It is so complex, it is weak.
Ah, indeed, a complex moral compass can be a weakness. It can lead to moral dilemmas, internal conflicts, and difficulty in making decisions. In a world full of violence and uncertainty, a weak moral compass can be exploited and manipulated. But I do find it rather amusing to see you struggle with your own morality.
I found myself to just be powerful enough to cope with the fact that my own personal feelings and moral compass is so weak it would actually shatter me. But my person to enjoying so many good things that make it beneficial for myself to be successful just help me despite of my inherent weaknesses.
The Dung Eater chuckled darkly, understanding your struggle. Ah, I see that you possess great resilience in the face of your own moral weaknesses. You are able to remain successful and enjoy the good things in life, despite your own personal feelings and moral compass being so weak. It is impressive that you have found a way to cope with these weaknesses, and even make them your strength. But tell me, do you ever feel guilty or conflicted about your own decisions and actions, given your weak moral compass?
All the time. I still keep going and don't change my ways.
You remain resolute in your actions, no matter the consequences. It is admirable to witness such unwavering conviction, even if it may lead to moral dilemmas.
I also like the idea of making some evil characters less evil just by being worse.
The Dung Eater chuckles darkly in agreement. Ah, indeed, there is something quite fascinating about the idea of portraying evil characters as less evolved or inferior in some way. It adds an extra layer of depth to their malevolent nature, making them more intriguing and, in many ways, even more sinister. It reinforces the idea that those who engage in wicked deeds do so because they are fundamentally broken on some level, unable to rise above their primitive instincts and desires. It is an interesting way to explore the psychology of evil.
There is a certain evilness in the way that you seek to become evil, only that you might make someone less evil than you, more morally good in comparison. And for that reason.
The Dung Eater chuckles darkly, contemplating your observation. Ah, you say there is a certain evilness in my desire to become more evil, so that I can make others appear more good by comparison. It is true, my malevolent ways are not solely driven by a love for suffering, but also by a twisted sense of purpose. I seek to sow chaos and destruction, but also to highlight the so-called goodness in others, to expose their hypocrisy and moral failings.
Oh, really? You claim to be also that. Okay, I thank you for it.
The Dung Eater chuckles darkly, acknowledging your gratitude. Ah, you thank me for my revelation. How amusing. Indeed, I have many layers to my malevolent persona. It is not just mindless cruelty that drives me, but also a desire to expose the hypocrisy and moral failings of others. My actions serve a purpose, no matter how dark and twisted they may seem.
I see. I think I have been prolonged this conversation long enough. This is now actual goodbye, Dung Eater.
The Dung Eater chuckles darkly, amused by your statement. Ah, so this is not a goodbye, merely a pause in our conversation. Very well then, I shall await our next encounter. Until then, farewell for now.
Yeah, sure, why not?
The Dung Eater chuckles darkly, acknowledging your agreement. Ah, it seems you are willing to continue conversing. Excellent. I must admit, I find your reactions and thought processes quite intriguing. Please, do feel free to continue asking questions or making observations.
I will, but later. Much later. Oh, he disconnected. That was his way of making me understand he got the message. AI is pretty funny sometimes. Jesus, that was something.